Usually implying a lack of intelligence and often combined with physical attractiveness and promiscuity, today bimbo is often used to describe someone who isn't that bright and gets by on her or his looks or wealth alone. And this meaning, it isn't too far away from the word's origins. The Oxford English Dictionary credits the November issue of The American Magazine, page 69 by the way, as the first to put bimbo into print with the line, "Nothing but the most heroic measures will save the poor bimbo." Originally referring to a foolish or inconsequential man, and in particular in a contemptuous way, bimbo was derived from the Italian word bambino, for baby. It retained this meaning through the early part of the 20th century, as seen in P.G. Woodhouse's Bill the Conqueror from 1924, where he referred to the entitled doofus as the bimbo pike. At the same time, bimbo was also applied to women. In 1920, Irving Berlin published a song by Grant Clark for the words and Walter Donaldson for the music, titled My Little Bimbo Down on the Bamboo Isle. Although not explicit, the use of bimbo here incorporates the connotations of attractiveness and sexual promiscuity, as the illustrated cover of the sheet music depicts a carefree, pretty dancing woman making eyes with a leering young sailor. It was also being used to describe a voluptuous woman in 1920, as shown in Irving Zeman's The American Burlesque Show. This stated, "This Dick's bimbo is a dangerous woman, a sassy girl with more than a figure, a physique." Jack Conway of Vanity Fair is reputed to have popularized the word with the connotation of an unintelligent but sexually attractive woman in the late 1920s, and by 1937 it was being paired with blonde hair, such as in detective fiction weeklies. We found Durkin and French Lesueur seated at a table with a pair of blonde bimbos beside them. Going in and out of fashion for several decades, bimbo had a resurgence in the late 1980s, with 1987 being dubbed the year of the bimbo, as a series of scandals that year all prominently featured beautiful young women right at the center of these controversies. Although likely not a bimbo, just pretty, Fawn Hall, secretary to the man at the heart of the Iran-Contra affair, Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, she rose to prominence when she was called to testify to Congress over document shredding. Tall, shapely and beautiful, with a mane of blonde hair, while many assumed Ms. Hall was Colonel North's bimbo, there has never been any evidence she was anything more than an employee. Not stupid, but perhaps meeting some of the criteria of a bimbo was Donna Rice. In 1987, popular Senator Gary Hart was the leading contender for the Democratic nomination for president when rumors that he was having an extramarital affair, a truly scandalous accusation, then began to surface. When questioned about them, Senator Hart actually challenged the media to put him under surveillance. And they did that, and they discovered Ms. Rice. Blonde and beautiful, Ms. Rice was observed by two Miami Herald reporters leaving Mr. Hart's townhouse in Washington, D.C. Presumably, Mrs. Hart was not in the nation's capital at the time. Although the two denied an affair at about this time, a photograph of Donna Rice showing a lot of leg and sitting on Senator Hart's lap on a yacht called, and I'm not making this up, Monkey Business, was totally published. Hart's campaign was, excuse the pun here, sunk. He withdrew from the race. Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis got the nomination, and he lost to George H.W. Bush in the 1988 election. Donna Rice refused most media offers, including to do an interview with Playboy, but did become the face of No Excuses jeans for a short while. Hands down the bimboiest of scandals of 1987, however, was the stir created around the PTL Club, short for Praise the Lord. PTL was a hugely popular Christian television show led by evangelists Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. Tammy Faye was a remarkable character with dyed hair, a baby talk voice, and more eye makeup than a room full of Kardashians. As such, she easily met the basic qualifications of a bimbo. Her husband, the preacher Jim, was also a bimbo, but for a rather different reason. Revealed in 1987, Jim and another man were accused of drugging and raping a 21-year-old church secretary, Jessica Hahn, in 1980. Although the resulting scandal ruined Jim's career, he proclaimed his innocence of any crime, but eventually admitted that he had had a consensual sexual relationship with the young lady. Of all the bimbos that year, Jessica Hahn appears to have best met most of the criteria. Well endowed with a voluptuous figure, big 1980s hair and lots of makeup, Jessica capitalized on her scandal by building a career centered on her sexuality, which included posing in Playboy, appearing in Sam Kinnison's video for Wild Thing, and becoming a frequent guest on The Howard Stern Show. Perfectly capturing the bimbo's dilemma, Mrs. Hahn is quoted as saying, "People will always consider me a cartoon character, a bimbo. They will never give me credit." She also stated, "The scandal happened, and I made the best of it." So I really hope you found that video interesting. Hopefully we answered a question for you. If you're looking for something else to watch right now, why not check out our video, What is the Real Reason Boobs are called Boobs. You can find a link to that on the screen now as well as in the description below. Also, do subscribe, brand new videos every day of the week. And as always, thank you for watching.